Kilpailussa mukana Ramirent. Kotikatsomon eväät tarjoaa Kotipizza.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the first stop of the Prodigy Disc Pro Tour 2021 here in Helsinki, Finland. This coverage is brought to you by Natural Born Disc Golf. Thank you guys for sharing this coverage with us here at Gatekeeper Media. My name is Mitch Phillips. Joining me is Hayden Riccard, and we are the hosts of Parked Podcast. How are you doing today, man?
Doing great. Ready to get into this. I'm excited for it. It's going to be some great footage.
Yeah, it's exciting to be able to see European disc golf, especially in Finland, come here to America. We have an amazing card for you today. Starting us off here is Niklas Anttila, sponsored by Discmania.
Next, we've got Samuel Hänninen, sponsored by Prodigy Disc.
And he's not the only Samuel here on this card. We have Samuel Stenman. He is also sponsored by Prodigy Disc. Very different play styles. Excited to watch him. And rounding out the card here, we have Niko Rättyä.
It's a good card we got here on the first round.
Yeah, a lot of different play styles. Let's jump right into hole one. This is a par 5, 709 feet. This is all about the first shot. If you can get a good placement shot, not move very far left to right, you're going to be in a really good spot to attack this hole one for eagle.
Yeah, really, you just don't want to leak left onto that left far side of the fairway and go towards the OB. But you can see this. I mean, most of them are going to be throwing mid-ranges, I would suspect.
Yeah, they're playing for placement, and the theme of this course you're going to see consistently is matching the angle of the disc with the ground to limit that skip. So you're going to see a lot of mid-ranges, a lot of slower speed discs, maybe even some forehands. But again, just avoiding that OB on the left, and definitely the natural OB on the right comes into play if you turn it over a little bit too much.
Yeah, and you see Niklas, nothing out of textbook with that throw. Like I said, mid-range, just matching the hillside.
Yep, and here we have Samuel Hänninen. Matching Niklas' shot. Just a little bit more distance. Dodging that last tree. That's a great spot.
It's pretty much where you want to land.
Excuse me, that was Samuel Stenman. Here's Hänninen.
Yeah, you can see all these players going with the mid-range. Just trusting that shot, getting up there, not trying to bite too much off of that distance, but just play more controlled disc golf, knowing that they can go for the eagle on the second shot.
Speaking of control, we see Stenman reaching for what I believe is a bleeder M3. Very, very old Prodigy mold.
I think we all used to have one of those.
Yeah, mine's now white. The pink completely fell off of it. And we're going to see Niko here with the first forehand of the group, using that entire fairway. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a thing of beauty if it can come back. Find some luck.
Well, I said no one was going to really attack that, but that was an attack.
Yeah, he's really wanting to put himself in a great spot to start off the round with an eagle. And we were talking before this, I don't think I've ever, one, played a course where it was option, or two, started my round off with an eagle.
I don't think I could count back to how many times I've gotten a shot to take an eagle on the first hole.
Yeah, and all these players in position to attack for eagle. We're going to go to Anttila here. Going with a fairway driver, looking for a late turn.
That was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, maybe a little bit shorter than he wanted, but kind of that spot, edge of circle 2, really can give it a confident bid to start your round off.
I think he played that perfectly because you can't go too high to get more distance because of the low ceiling.
Right, it's a great design on this hole. And we see Hänninen go for a full driver with the late kiss, avoiding the out of bounds. I was just about to say he's going to bring in a lot more fade. We're getting some luck here on hole 1.
Nothing wrong with that at all. Some good luck there.
Finally getting to Stenman's shot. I believe he just went mid-range here on this 700-foot par 5 to 15 feet.
If he's playing like that, I mean, man, he's got a good round coming in. He's playing smart, not taking too many risks on this first hole, and now he's got a putt for eagle.
Yeah, the furthest drive of the group here. Niko going that same disc again, forehand. Wow. Even a touch long. Wow.
20 foot behind the basket.
Go forehand, same disc. That's textbook here. Yeah. Going to be tapping in the eagle. quite a bit longer bid than we expected for Niklas to have to start off his round. But again, nothing really behind the basket, able to get a full run here.
He had the right height there. I just think he needed more power straight at the basket. But nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, to
Still
get the right
birdie
height
chance.
from that distance to start off your round, definitely happy. Oh, just a little bit more commit. Got a lot of holes left to correct off that, but
Those Prodigy baskets really want you to hit that centered and hard.
mm-hmm.
From a
anywhere,
distance.
Really just hit them hard anywhere.
Yeah, from a
And
distance, I think
catch.
they need it.
That's what this basket wants. Low at the pole. Great way to start off your round with an eagle. We're going to see Samuel Stenman also step up for his eagle bid. Checking his footing.
You can't really tell on camera, but it is a slight angle there that he's having to really make sure he's playing it right.
Great.
It's a good
catch there.
hold.
Yeah, for our card to play this hole, I believe at -6 is absolutely incredible.
Yeah. 2 eagles. Here's another birdie.
And it's a hole in which a 4 definitely feels more like a par. If you throw
would
2 great shots, you can get the birdie. But being that it is hole 1, I like that it's par 5. It forces you to maybe put your foot on the gas a little bit earlier than your game plan.
Yeah.
Especially when you see the other people on your card or maybe cards that have already gone out.
I agree. Moving on to hole 2, par 4, 390 feet, with a triple mando down there. And you really just want to make it through the triple mando, and then it doglets left, going another 150, 200 feet, and coming into the green here that's kind of protected, and it's going to be a tough shot to get through there.
Yeah, similar to hole 1, you have that turning to the right at the end of the shot here on the green. But like you said, if you can get through the gate here, you're in a good spot. But not just getting through the gate is enough.
You got to get far.
You have to get a lot further than it looks,
Yeah.
especially on camera. Like that looks like a great shot there,
It's
but
still cut off.
very blocked.
Yeah. You're going to see them try to throw mainly a mid-range or putter, trying to just play the ground and get as far as they can straight. This is leaking a little bit left too early, and he misses the mando. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, Nico disked up there, kind of seeing that Stenman's shot didn't go far enough. So maybe just realizing, just not giving it enough.
Yeah.
But he'll go from the drop zone, throwing his 3rd shot. Here's Niklas going with the fairway driver, really trying to bite off a lot.
And you can see he's trying to get it cut in that corner really fast and getting sneaky, but those trees are protecting that corner really, really well.
And similar play here from Hänninen, going with a glow H1 from Prodigy.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely a lot of fade on this disc. If he can get it low and play with the ground play.
Yep.
Oh, so close to perfection there. Definitely the best drive of the group, though.
Yeah. I think he's got the better look out of all of them.
Yeah, this is one with a par 4 under 400 feet is a rare thing. So you're going to want to get a birdie on it. But really, the way this one plays, it's playing a lot closer to par.
Yeah. I would suspect it's probably playing par or over par. I don't know the actual stats, but it's a tough one.
Yeah, and you can see if you don't make this corner, there's some logs stacked up, some barriers just to protect people down the fairway. And Niklas having to go with a flex forehand, almost hits the line.
Trying to bite off as much distance as he could there, but as you can see, it's just well protected and doesn't want to let anything go through. And you see Samuel Hänninen trying to do the same, and unfortunately goes out of bounds over the fence. It's going to be tough, but he's got to run at it from that where his disc went out. So, I mean, could see him come back with a good putt.
Yeah, it's always tough to throw the correct shot, but just catch that last tree. And now we're finally getting here to Stenman's drive. Really wasn't actually going for the pin there, throwing a beat-in baseline putter, just kind of playing that placement shot. He should still be fine to stick to his game plan for the par. But you can definitely see, even with the greatest drive of the group, he's still not really giving it a chance.
It's a hard one to do. I mean, I wouldn't. There's only a select few cases where I would, if I made the corner, yes, I'd probably go for it. Because then I have an opportunity to take at least maybe 1 or 2 strokes on the card.
And really the only player here on this card was Anttila actually gave it a chance to make the corner.
Yeah.
But your other players, and I'm assuming most other players in this tournament, are really not giving it a chance. It's a little bit too much of a risk. You could take a weird hit, maybe find it out of bounds somewhere to Hänninen in here.
Taking his meter off the fence.
Asking someone to come grab the Frisbee for him.
Yeah. You can see he has a lane here for a putt, so
This would be highlight city.
I would go for it if I were him. And he does.
Oh.
Don't know how close that was, but that looked close.
Yeah, just low left. This is Niklas for birdie. Ooh.
That's a good shot. I mean, to have a birdie look, can't complain.
Oh, and just catching that tiny little branch.
How mad would you be at that branch?
That branch would no longer be there. Nico's going to unfortunately follow up with a double bogey after getting started in the round off with an eagle. Hänninen also finding a red number here.
Honestly, bogey's not that bad here. You could, I would say other cards or this round you could see high numbers for sure with the OB and how many trees are protecting the green.
And this is even in perfect conditions too.
Yeah.
And we come away with 2 pars, a double bogey, and a bogey here on hole 2.
Mm-hmm. Tough hole.
Let's find some peace here on hole 3, par 4, 574 feet. The music is peaceful, but this hole is nothing but about 2 gaps off the tee that you kind of want to get to this landing zone where the drone is at now. But to find that, you're really going to have to flex something out of your hand, maybe a late hyzer flip. You're really going to have to use the entire fairway to make that a possibility. See a lot of these players maybe disc down or just try to go for it, knowing that once you make the gap, there's a lot of landing area here.
The initial key is getting out.
Got some distance there, but taking a weird kick.
That's the first challenge. It's just getting out. I think even if you come up short and you get outside the gap, you're still going to have a look for a birdie if you can get up and down.
Similar.
That takes a huge kick right.
And he's still watching it fade all the way down to the right there. Here's Hänninen stepping up with a full speed driver after the first 2 guys were throwing fairways. A little more height. Oh, so close to the line he was aiming for there. Kicking straight down is not a bad thing, though.
No.
Let's see if Nico can right the ship after that double bogey on hole 2. Oh,
You can hear him asking to miss it. That one's
knowing
gonna
how
be-
brutal that right side is.
Yep. And you can see how brutal it is as he's moving some twigs out of the way to get maybe a run up or something to give him room to throw.
I'm thinking all he has is probably over the top.
Yeah.
Yep,
Right.
that's it. Oh, it catches
And that's
the
a
top of the
I
ceiling.
think that's from where he is. That's a tough over the top just because of the low ceiling.
I mean, he may have been able to come left back into the fairway, but even then, knowing he's going to be able to advance a lot further. Forehand roller here out of Hänninen.
This is impressive.
With the long grass, too. Fighting its way
mean-
through, maybe for a look.
He got distance, so I mean he's almost pin high.
Yeah, he's going to have a
Maybe
look for the birdie.
75, 80 feet from the basket.
Wow.
And that's a tough look too.
I'm assuming he didn't really
Off-stance.
have much for the forehand.
I don't think he had the room.
Yeah, and knowing that he's going uphill, that forehand would
Yeah.
have filtered down the hill. It's the right shot.
Trying to go over the top again. I think that if that was me, I would have taken my chance to just pitch out to the fairway.
Yeah, and we can't
Because-
really see where he's standing, but I mean, it may not even be an opportunity to take your medicine. You can see
I-
all these tiny little twigs. Just
You may
really
not be
unlucky.
able to, but that's my thought. And you can see Niklas there with a clean throw after his second shot or third shot. And I think he has to go over the top again.
Yeah.
There's no, I mean, you can see the basket. He's got to do a full Simon line.
Yeah, hearing that sigh of relief that he actually made it over the top this time, but pushing a little bit deep right.
That's unfortunate. It's just like you have to keep going back to that over the top and over the top to get somewhere.
Oh my goodness.
And
Samuel Stenman
sticking somewhere is right there.
What a shot. After watching his card mate throw over the top multiple times. Putting on a clinic with that hyzer over the top there to put himself inside the circle. Ooh. Niko still with some juice left in the tank.
Disc golf God, you should have given that one to him because that was rough.
Go over the top, over the top, over the top to Annie putt from outside circle 2. Oh, it's going to be back-to-back double bogeys there for Niko.
That looked good out of the hand. I think his putting, it looks so good. He just needs to clean up just the back end of it a little bit.
Yeah, it's one of those things I've seen some players. I know I do it on some of my putters. Either right putt with confidence or in my head. That's the only thing I'm telling myself is just confidently know that you're putting a plastic disc into a metal basket. It's gonna catch it more than not. Somehow. But if you never give it the height, as you saw he did there, it's never really gonna have a chance. But playing the hole to perfection, Stenman. I mean,
he's played these first 3 holes to perfection.
Three down through 3.
Wow, that's a good score right there.
Anytime you can style points too, just like absolute tombstone inside the circle, or tombstone or land shark. Here in America, that's a big battle. Let us know in the comments. Some of the Europeans watching.
I don't know what you call it over there.
I'm not sure what it would be. We've got land sharks.
They probably have some really funky term for it.
Yeah, but let us know in the comments.
Moving over to hole 4, par 3, 358. I would go with a forehand here, just off of what I like to play, but you might see him go with the Sky Anheuser, and you really want to push right, but you can't go too far because you don't want to be down that hill.
Yeah, speed control is the biggest thing on this hole. You're going to see a lot of players throwing a disc, maybe a hyzer flip disc with a little bit more turn out of the hand, knowing that it's not going to burn all the way over, but also knowing that they can't give it too much height and let it turn over because it will not come back.
Yeah.
As we see this.
You may not have the angle with the forehand there. It may be cut off too much that you're going to leak right way too much, and you're going to be stuck in the woods.
Stenman should have a good chance with a birdie putt. Even though he did go long, he's not having to bring a death putt into question.
No.
So maybe that's his play.
Uphill. Nothing wrong with an uphill putt. I mean, the worst you can get is par.
Yep. And here's Hänninen throwing a clear disc, turnover Sky Anheuser.
No idea where that went. Landed somewhere, though. I think he went a little bit short of that gap coming in.
Yeah, and being short here, you're really not even a chance at a birdie. If this hole was later in the round, maybe you're going to see some people run it if they're short, but we're going to see a lot of layups here if you're not making it all the way down into the circle. Similar line here from Niklas. Fading out early,
yeah. It flattened out a lot earlier, and it looks like it's landing near the next tee pad or a bench.
It's going to have a weird approach for sure. And you can see Niko here thinking through. After watching all the players go over the top, looks like he has maybe a slower disc in his hand than the other players.
Fairway. It's got to be a fairway.
Yep, he's going to take the more inside line, really testing the speed control with power instead of height.
Just matching the height of the elevation there, just making sure there's no skip, there's no worry about trees coming in.
Heck yeah, put him inside the circle for a look for birdie. Great mental game there to go double bogeys in a row and then walk up and throw a really technical shot.
Yep.
Speaking of technical shots, from a knee leaning out from another fairway, Anttila finds himself with a tap-in par.
Great approach. He'll touch forehand.
And you can see just not even a chance here when you're short on this hole.
I wouldn't go for it either. I don't think.
Like I said, if it's later in the round, maybe, but
I don't think even if I had to push, I would take that. I would take my medicine and just put it to the ground. Because I mean, you see what's behind there. I'm not messing with it. Here's a good birdie look. I know he's going to go for this because after his two double bogeys.
Yeah, with the cleanest look of the group for sure.
Yeah.
Great birdie there.
Back down the +1 for the round.
Yeah, through 4 holes, Niko does not have a par.
I mean, those are some tough holes, though. I mean, yeah, great on the other players for getting par, but, I mean, those Those can bite you if you get off the fairway.
Yeah, and kind of the theme of this course that we're seeing so far is it's speed control, it's angle control, it's just control. Knowing the ground here is soft in some spots, harder in the other, and it's being able to see where that disc needs to land and how much force it needs to land with. It's a totally different style.
Mm-hmm. And we got the Coti Pizza Slow-Mo. Yeah, that's a great putt. Right out of the hand, he knew it.
Yep, no wobble on there. Very similar to my putting style, just down to up, put a little bit of wrist snap on there, and it never wavers off the pole. Moving on to hole 5, this is a par 4, 525 feet. Really seeing the elevation that we saw on the back end of that last hole come into play here, and continuing that ground play need. You're going to want to land right where the drone just passed there with kind of that hard packed dirt to set yourself up for maybe a turnover, mid-range, turnover putter even if you get far enough down the fairway. But because this one has so much elevation off the tee, you're going to see a lot of players maybe not even throw more than a putter or a mid-range because everything's going to carry very far.
Yeah, that left side OB is going to come into play real quick if you throw something fast and overstable. Yep, and that's really what you want. That's a really good kick and a roll forward. I mean, nothing wrong with that placement. I think that I'd be happy.
Mm-hmm. Disking up just a little bit here is Stenman, I believe, throwing an A3.
This is what I would throw on this hole right here, something similar.
Oh, yeah.
And getting all the distance that it can and the roll. Yeah, that's a great shot. And you can see how close that OB comes in if you throw actually a full driver or something faster.
Yeah, I like the course design a lot here, knowing that if you fade too much left or right, you're really in trouble. And speaking of fading too much left, finding the most favorable roll down back into a really good spot. Not really going to have the best footing, but I think he got far enough down there where he's not going to need
he went
it. Yeah.
Inside route.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I would be happy if I were him.
Niklas throwing a faster disc than the rest of the group.
Is that Doomberg?
Mm-hmm. Looks like it.
Man.
It's a different play style, knowing he can hit that gap with something overstable a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Setting himself up to be able to do a full shot instead of maybe a little bit of an approach.
And speaking of full shot, going a full shot with a forehand mid-range, probably MD5,
I believe.
MD5, yeah.
Something like that. Looks great out of the hand. Yeah, he'll have a look for birdie there.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
These greens are treacherous. I mean, 5 holes in, and we have not seen a green that's flat.
No.
Hanging on just a bit too long there.
I think his footing played with him, like you said.
Yeah, he had that
Came
big
into
rock
kind of
in front of
play.
his plant foot.
This looks good, just a little bit long. Speed control was right, disc selection was right, just a little bit long. Nothing wrong with that, though. Going with his trusty putter that he likes throwing. Match that angle and just settle down nice and easy.
No, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
To be able to go approach disc and putter on a 500-foot par 4, I mean, you're playing to your strengths completely.
Playing really well. Yeah.
Great commit there from Stenman.
I mean, even from there, you still have a birdie look.
Mm-hmm. No, he shorted that forehand, so that'll be for his par.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Got Fido in the background going crazy, distracting Niklas there.
I don't think that actually threw him off.
Nah, he was pretty locked in. Just a little bit right out of his hand. Just a little bit high right there for Nico as well.
You can tell a little bit of frustration out of him, but you got some more holes to play, so.
Yeah, and there's Hänninen. Apologize to these two gentlemen. We keep mixing them up. The similar first names there.
Yeah.
Yep. Great birdie there from Stenman.
He's playing some great golf.
Yeah, 4 down through 5.
On some tough holes.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't gimmies.
And he's playing these holes a little bit different. He's throwing slower speed discs, which is what we said at the beginning. This course really wants you to find placement. It's not a course where you need distance, at least not yet.
No. Definitely not yet.
Let's jump to hole 6.
hole 6, par 3, 417 feet, and man, this is another tough look at a hole. I mean, I'm gonna throw probably mid-range down the gap and get as far as I can, honestly, because it's just protected. I don't want to leak left. I don't want to leak right. I just want to go straight and get as far as I can. And
you
see
talk about
another
a protected green.
green.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you got the road that's close nearby too. So
Yeah, you can see there is a line there on the right side if you wanted to be over the out of bounds the entire time with a big hyzer
but
shot.
if you throw a shot like that, I mean, you're gonna leak left.
Yeah, to have a look for birdie here, even a putt, is definitely just an opportunity.
It's a good turnover shot with a good amount of touch that it does not fade too far.
Yeah, it's the epitome of just a hyzer flip, knowing your disc.
Playing
Oh,
the
great ground play.
Yeah.
Going backside there.
Oh, he'll have a look.
Yes.
Outside circle 1. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
That's a great shot there from Niko.
And honestly, I would play that every time. Just play that ground play. Worst you can do, you're a little bit short and lay up for the par.
Yeah, and a perfect ground play, too, to be able to use that straight skip. And excuse me from earlier, that you actually have a Mando to the left here. You're not able to go on that right side of this initial gap. Niklas using that entire fairway. My gosh.
You want the late turn, but you also got to look out for those trees.
This looks perfect. Maybe a bit short.
Yeah, just short of that juniper. I mean, he's going to have maybe a 60-footer.
Mm-hmm.
Just outside circle 1, maybe in between circle 1 and circle 2.
Yeah, this is definitely a bonus birdie hole with how much it really has to do perfect to get it. I mean, you're having to match the ground play. You're having to get a distance of 400 feet with a hyzer flip down a hallway.
Yeah, not trying to go too far. Just laying it up. Do you think he runs with?
Yeah, he definitely has a gap. I was about to say, we're going to see where that catch cam's at. Come on.
Give it to him.
Do it for the fans, Niklas.
Oh, told you, his putting is so close to being perfect.
Yeah, I believe he's putting those P2s, a lot of glide. Just needs a little bit more height.
And you know Niko wants this.
Mm-hmm. Oh. In that comfortable range of the step putt that he likes.
Just a little bit
low.
frustrated.
Yeah, knowing he needed to capitalize there.
Good par.
We're going to have a star par here on hole 6.
Honestly, there's nothing wrong with that. I think that was pretty textbook.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you'll see a lot of pars on that hole.
Yeah, jumping into hole 7. It's a par 3, 371 feet. This is a shot that you need to throw your straightest disc, throw it well, and again, control that ground play. Any movement left to right here, you're going to find maybe OB long left. It's a good amount of distance behind the basket. Doesn't really come into play too much, but speed control, maybe hitting the ground before the basket and letting it just kind of slide up is going to be key here. Early out of the hand there.
Hopefully he got down quick so he has some upshot going to the basket for par. Going with that trusty fairway that's going to play that ground play. Must have caught a root.
A second root that we weren't really able to see. Surprised him as well.
I think it's a fairway driver.
Yeah, Hänninen reaching too.
Going for that late turn, it's just not wanting the turn for him. I think he's afraid to put too much on it because it will turn fast for him, maybe.
Yeah, I'm loving the course design so far, though. There's really not been one hole that you're like, okay, just throw a hyzer.
Yeah.
Or just throw your shot selection. I mean, this is a demanding
That's a good shot.
late flip. See if he gets the ground play. Oh, yeah.
I mean, just outside circle 1.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be happy with that all day, every day. He got down early, so he has a look to get up and down. See if it holds
it. Really good angle out of the hand. Asking him to slow down.
Yeah.
Great recovery shot there.
Yeah. go in.
Yeah, it's like giving it a little bit of a run there.
That looked really close.
Yeah, if we haven't said it enough already, the difference in play style here from these Europeans compared to us Americans, I mean, the touch on all these approaches, the speed control, matching the angle of the ground is just so different.
And I mean, you could attest that to if you watch Simon in his early days, and even Simon now. Like, I mean, his
It's a lot more angles being brought in.
His approach game is on point. That's why he's good on those short holes, throwing in aces and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh, just
Again.
a touch off on the putting green here for Niklas, knowing he would be at least 3 to 4 under par.
Again, he knows it.
Mhm.
He knows it.
In that no man's land of like, if I push too hard, I'm now going to be overcorrecting.
And that one just went a little too high from Nico.
Yeah, it's top link.
Niklas is frustrated, but he's playing good golf. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not connecting for him.
Stenman for a par as
Good
well.
comeback for a par.
We see a group of pars here. Sorry, Nico will find the bogey after hitting that top link. It's a very demanding shot.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the hardest shot in disc golf to be able to just throw straight.
And it's not just like you could just pull up and throw a mid-range. I mean, you could, but I think with it being a little bit downhill after that hump, you got to throw something more faster.
Mm-hmm. And no fade because you have the woods on the left there.
Yep. And moving on to hole 8, par 3, 292. This is a straight shot if I've ever seen one. And this is going to beat you up if you go left or right. But, I mean, I'd probably throw putter mid-range here and just lay it up on the gap, match the hillside so you don't roll away because all those roots and rocks. You can see a lot of birdies here if you get through the gap.
Mm-hmm. Getting through the gap here is the key. And you're going to see a lot of players filter down to the right just a little bit because of that left to right slope. And they've actually put in some logs and rocks and things there on the right to make sure everything's not just going to filter down. So you'll see a lot of these players try to maybe land short and hit that boundary, giving themselves a look from inside the circle. Be another putter here.
Looks good. Get left. And protected by that little log section you were talking about there.
Puts him just inside the circle. Notice these players too, they're never really throwing a straight shot without any left to right movement. Even though they're throwing a straight shot, technically with the way the hole is shaped, you can see Niklas does here is it's a left to right moving shot the entire way, almost giving it an ace run here. Wow. That is such a good shot.
And you see that ground play. I mean, he was right next to the basket and then it just rolled away.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to be wary about. That's why you throw something that'll just stick.
Yeah, no, I'm taking notes here to do that. So many times I want to throw a hyzer flip or I want to do something to just, it needs to go straight. Like, no, it needs to go straight for a certain amount of distance, but then slowly
fade back
or turn.
Yeah.
Great speed control there.
3
players on the green here looking for birdie.
I mean, if that backdrop was not, or the backstop was not there, you may see them go another 10, 15 feet behind the, behind the basket.
And downhill.
Get through.
Yep, Stenman just trying to put that in a distance he's comfortable with putting.
I think he's been comfortable pretty much from anywhere right now.
Yeah.
I mean, he's made his putts, 0 bogey so far.
Definitely
Nothing
one of the
wrong with
hottest
it.
rounds at the moment through eight holes here.
I mean, he's the only one under par right now. Speak of under par.
Finding the birdie here on hole 8 from Samuel Hänninen. After that many pars in a row, it's got to feel good to just have a nice stroke, a good stance. And these greens have been so treacherous, you haven't had a chance to really like stand
Well, you
in
know
your
you're
natural
so
stance.
close, and you're like, come on, just give it to me. I mean, I've been in that same situation. It's just like, all right, well, I'm taking pars. There's nothing wrong with it, but like, you know in your head you're going to have to do better.
A colorful scorecard here from Nico, but finding himself back close to par. Also going under par now is Niklas. Great recovery from Stenman. Clean scorecard so far for Samuel Stenman. We finish up this front 9 on hole 9, par 3, 236 feet. Kind of a choice here if you want to go forehand around the outside or up the middle. Speed control comes into play again here, knowing there's a huge drop-off right behind you at the road OB as well. This hard-packed dirt is either going to want a shot that's hitting early and sliding up to it, or it's going to want kind of that spiking shot. And with, again, distance control, speed control is going to be very big.
There's no Mando here, but you can see going through the gap, trying to get that flex forehand with an approach disc.
At only 236 feet downhill, to trust a flex forehand through that gap, I guess you're just really hoping it lands flat.
I would assume
playing the flex play.
I probably wouldn't trust myself going inside the gap as much as I would outside the gap.
He knows this course better than we do, so
yeah,
I know
that is true. But I'm just thinking because I don't really know. I mean,
Niklas putting himself in death putt range.
You can see Niklas there. I mean, went outside the gap, but that's what you're gonna get with going outside. You're not gonna get as far distance. I mean, this is a true lefty hole, though.
Dang, hands on the hips there for Niko.
At least the kick down right there. And
yeah, I should have an easy upshot there.
I think he's going for the forehand outside as well with an A3. But you can see it's not getting as far a distance. I mean, yeah, you're there, but I mean, you're cutting yourself off. So maybe Samuel had the right idea of going inside to get that flex distance. I mean, obviously, you're going to get more distance with a flex forehand, but you play with the trees.
Flex forehand downhill, though. I mean, you're playing with fire.
Yeah, and behind the basket is all downhill. So
maybe giving it a chance to skip in here.
And that's what I'm talking about. I mean, you can see what it does.
Sit.
Don't go a B. Don't go a B.
Sit for him.
Don't go a B.
Hitting the BMX track. Sit.
And that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, so unlucky there from Niko. He was definitely giving that one a run to come back.
I'm pretty sure he was giving that one a run.
And here's Stenman.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with being this short, but you definitely want to be closer.
With his style putt, I feel like he has a chance to give it a little bit of a run.
I mean, I think he's putting with P3s.
Oh. You can hear how hard packed that dirt really is when it hits. It's like putting into concrete.
Ain't going nowhere, but rolling.
Again, low. Knowing he's leaving so many strokes.
Close to getting it over.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch this back 9. See how Niklas can correct the ship here. I mean, a great round so far, just barely off.
That was a great putt.
2 in a row here to finish out the front 9. He said, let's go.
Get me out of here.
Yeah.
Good comeback putt for his bogey.
Frustrating way to finish out the front 9 there. +2 for Niko. Just kind of a roller coaster here, but there's a lot of holes left. Still got 2.5 rounds to go. And here's Stenman to keep a clean front 9. Oh.
Just short-armed it. And what a roll off that cage.
A commentator curse to keep a clean front 9 and shorts it.
What are you doing, man?
I'm sorry. I apologize, Samuel. Now looking down a death putt.
Okay, clean it up.
I mean, it's usually a very easy putt, but I mean, things going on in the background.
This is for his first bogey of the round so far. Good putt.
Yep. Good putt. I could have gotten bad quick, just a tiny bit off there.
Good tap in par. I mean, that front 9 is brutal for some of these players. Colorful round, but I mean, they played pretty well for what was given to them. I mean, I think I would have played worse.
Oh, I know it would have played worse. That's why we're sitting here on the microphone and they're the ones playing. Goodness. After the front 9, let's check in with the leaderboard here. A couple of -5s, -4s. Definitely, I mean, -5 through that front 9 is absolutely incredible.
That's playing super well.
Yeah. It's playing clean. It's knowing your angles. Definitely come back here for the back 9. This has been round 1 here in Helsinki. Be sure to like this video and subscribe here to Gatekeeper Media. My name is Mitch, and joining me has been Hayden Riccard. Follow us over on Instagram at Parked Podcast, and we'll be bringing you all the action here. We'll see you on the back nine.